So, for everybody playing at home and asking about what happened at rockynats, to be honest, everything went wrong. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Whether it be my tow car, Senator, trailer, the event, it was wrong. Everything went wrong. On the way up there, we left at like 4 in the afternoon on Wednesday. Made it to Childers by 10 o'clock. For everyone playing at home, Childers is like a 3-hour drive, maybe, I think, something like that. So yeah, it took us 6, 7 or something, whatever maths ended up being. The Silverado ended up developing a tiny little crack in the radiator, sorry, and so we had to like limp it to Childers that night. We ended up getting some shit in the morning to sort that out, just briefly, kind of like glued it up once some shops were open in Childers the next day. Ended up limping it to Rocky, had a brand new radiator bought and brought up to me the next night from a dude named Dwayne. I've never met Dwayne before. He just got tagged into my post calling out for help the night before, and was a good dude and ended up just bringing it up for me, so thank you very much, Dwayne. Saved the day there, kind of. Ended up being a lot worse issue, but the next morning went to the street parade, which was fucking awesome. Actually, that was a really cool thing to do. I ended up leading the methanol cars accidentally. Sorry to everyone else, I was late. They ended up putting me right at the front, so thanks rockynats for that. That was kind of cool. It was on the news and shit. Can't complain with that. Best reason I've been on the news ever. Yeah, but at the end of the street parade, I stopped at the end of the line and waited for everyone to go through, so I wasn't burning everyone's eyes with the methanol as I cruised past. You know, they probably would have loved it, but I just thought I'd just do the right thing for the kids and shit. Ended up waiting there. The line ended up going, so I thought I'd go. Started leaving, and what I thought happened was we ran out of fuel. So we ended up having to bring fuel back, and then the car wouldn't start again, and it was a bit weird. So we ended up just bringing the trailer back, throwing it in the trailer, and towing it back to camp. Thought we sorted it out because we got it running again at camp, so we just ignored it after that. And I was in the open class, so I wasn't skidding again until the next day at on Saturday at like 10 a.m. So we weren't in a huge rush to do anything with it. And then I got a phone call from a friend of mine in the driver briefing asking me for the pro class, asking me where I was because my name was being called out. So there was talk about them changing me into the pro class the day of scrutineering, and they said to, just check your phone, keep looking at your phone or your emails, just wait for an update, we'll let you know. No one let me know. So I'm getting this phone call saying, you got to be here, blah, blah, blah. My car's nowhere near ready because, I'm not skidding for another 12 hours or like 20 hours or something, whatever it was. So I wasn't anywhere near ready. That pissed me off a lot, like heaps, because I'm just sitting there in limbo, not knowing what the fuck's going on. Ended up telling them to change me back into the open class, which was going to piss off a lot of people in the open class, but I couldn't really sort that out. Couldn't help it. Sorry, guys. Then they postponed the pro class. So the next morning I got my shit sorted and I ran over there. I was like, oh, can I still be in the pro class? Yep, sweet. Did a quick briefing with Kevin. He sorted me out with that. Signed all the paperwork I needed to sign, checked all my safety gear, and we were out. Rolled the car out of the trailer and it wouldn't start. It started and then just shut off straight away, pretty much. Ran for about 10 seconds. Just us trying to start it ended up killing a battery. So we tried to borrow we killed 2 jump packs, borrowed some batteries and jump leads, couldn't start. We were like, okay, the battery's dropped to sell. Ran up the road to Super Cheap to grab a battery, ran back, still the same thing. Okay, so it wasn't the battery. Ended up ripping the starter motor out. Starter motor smells like it's 700 years old, cooking. So we obviously, that's fucked. Ran to Remco on the other side of town, grabbed the starter motor, ran back, threw that in. Mind you, this is all my mate Mark doing all the like most of everything. I'm fucking broken. I can't get underneath it where we were, so he's underneath there smashing it for me. Thanks, man. Always saving the day. And it still wouldn't start. Turns out the day before at the street parade, we killed the lift pump, and we just didn't know because it's all in a hanger, big radium hanger. It's all in one big piece, so we couldn't tell that it wasn't running because the other pumps are so loud and kind of overtook them, and it was getting fuel somewhat. Ended up ripping the radium hanger apart. It's got about 37 bolts to get it off. Not even an exaggeration. That literally probably has that many. Ripped it apart, pulled the spare 525 out of the hanger, and threw that in as a lift pump. Kind of jerry-rigged that up a little bit dodgy. Hit the key, fired. We're like, yep, awesome. Ran up to the line to get the car in there while Mark and Jade, my partner, changing the tyres on the car and stuff for me. So I'm like trying to get everything organised, and I was too late. They told me I couldn't run because they were running the skid road by that stage, so they'd already blocked off the pad. They're not going to change that for one dude to do his thing. So they said I could come back at 6:30 and do my second qualifier, but by the time I do the second qualifier, I'm not in the competition anymore. Simply because I only did one skid. It's not fair, to the other guys in the competition who did 2 skids. I get it, that's cool. So I offered to do 2 skids back to back, and that wasn't going to happen. They weren't keen on that. Fair enough. Like, again, still unfair for the other guys. But yeah. So I wasn't in the competition. The only thing I'd be able to get into was the redemption round, and I just thought to myself, after everything that had gone wrong with the Silverado, and the whole weekend was just a bit shit by this stage, I thought, fuck it, I'm not even going to bother wasting the tyres or the methanol, risk breaking my car for no reason. So I just threw it back in the trailer and went back to camp. And then that night I ended up throwing the new radiator in the Silverado, which is awesome to do in the mud, by the way. Great job. I suggest it to everybody. Go buy yourself a Silverado and have the new radiator. Great time. Sorted that out. Ended up packing up camp in the morning and started heading home. Didn't even get to Mount Larkham and split a radiator hose, which was some like aftermarket dodgy piece of shit job done by, we think, Performax when they converted it back in 2016. So, and a friend of mine, Jacob, ended up seeing us on the side of the road, side of the highway, and stopped, and then ended up helping us fucking almost all day. That guy's a fucking trooper. Hung around. Thanks, man. Like, really saved the day. We were no food, no water, no nothing. Just like stuck in the middle of nowhere. He ended up running up to the town and grabbing us some food. Ran me back to Rocky to grab a new radiator hose. Did heaps of shit. Ran me fucking all over the place trying to sort some shit out for that car. We ended up getting it sorted-ish, but it was still pushing water. So we think the EGR cooler, we're hoping the EGR cooler is fucked and it hasn't done a head, but with the luck that I had over the weekend, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a head. Ended up getting up to Benarabi, and my friend Shannon from Sandgate District and Towing ended up calling his friend Blake from Hire For You, I think his business name is. It's a bunch of tilt trays and machines and tippers. I believe that's all his stuff. he's ended up lending me his 200 series to tow my trailer home, and offered to store the Silverado for me at the yard until I can come back up here, which is what I'm doing today. I left at 4 a.m. to tow his 200 series back with my friend Matt's tilt tray back up to Madarribee to drop that off, load the Silverado and head home and start pulling it apart and figure it out, because in 2 weekends time I have a Fraser trip to go to where I need to tow my caravan. So if I can't get this sorted, I'm not going to Fraser. It's the first actual, like, proper actual holiday we're going to have for the last 3 years, trying to get this business off the ground and stuff. So yeah, and my missus and stepdaughter, just troopers the whole way, just dealt with it. They were great right up until the end. But stepdaughter Savannah ended up getting some sore legs and stuff from just hanging in the kids' seat all day and stuff, and she was a bit sooky, but she was great all day, the whole weekend. She was great. Behind the Jade, fucking thank you for just not trying to kill me by the end of it. Everyone else involved helped out. Thank you very much. Yeah, and that's my thing. I definitely, I'm not sure if I'll go back to rockynats. For starters, I don't think I should ever tow a car in that direction again. After the last 2 times I've tried, just had the same kind of issues. So that's a bit of a curse for me, I think. But yeah, the event, I think there's a lot of things that can change the. I don't know how you can do it, and I don't know if you can do it, but you know, just even with the coppers there, just hammering everybody, it's a bit shit, guys. Like, you know, we're all fucking there trying to go to this thing. Most of us are all trying to do the right thing, and you know, just getting fucked and whatever. I guess you know, we're all driving defective vehicles. I guess it is what it is, but you know, I don't think the 30 highway patrol cars and the 15 police bikes are warranted for a couple of hundred cars cruising around on the street with some air cleaners out the bonnet, and they're a little bit too loud, you know. I think a lot of the precincts should probably be a lot closer together. Maybe not possible. I don't know. I'm not a town planner. I don't know how that all works, but fuck, it would make the event heaps easier and heaps better if you could be a lot closer. You know, walking distance. You know, everyone's not having to load their cars into fucking car trailers just to get you know, 10 minutes down the street. You know, they can just walk to an event, or you know, we can have all the burnout cars camped or something at the fucking burnout pad. I don't know. I don't know what you could do, but I think it's definitely worth looking into. And I'm not the only one. Like, I've had this has been brought up with me from a lot of people that are all. There's a lot of people pretty disappointed with the event, I think, on my end of things anyway. Thanks for putting it on. I'm sure a lot of people had a fucking great time. I did not. Obviously. But, yeah. Anyway, wish me luck. That's my fucking whinge for the day. Wish me luck. Hopefully I get this thing back in one piece. And, sort the Silverado out. Thank you very much. See you.